Good morning, you guys. I'm gonna give you all the opportunity to start coming in. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to start coming into the room. I know it's early. It's 8:30 in the morning. I see one person. Hey, Black Zach. Hey, little Miss Muffin. I know. Listen, y'all. I just got in the house. Hey, little mama. We're gonna start letting other people come in. Hey, Diane. Who done it? Nola girl. Sharon Webster. Y'all know what's been happening. Somebody has been hacking me, paying a hacker, or they could just be a hacker themselves. And and I was wondering, I was like, Dog, what's wrong with my hours? Y'all, they've been manipulating my hours on here. That's okay. Everybody's days that's doing dirt on here is numbered. Said finally caught a live stream. I can promise you that. Hello, Deli. Nola girl. Dirk Wilson. No, I'm not a cougar. You said I'm not a cougar. I like guys that are older than me. So you guys share the video. Share it on your pages. Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, chat. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all. I'm waiting for. I'm giving other people the opportunity to start coming in. Hey, y'all, love my three. Sharon Richardson. I said that so wrong. Sharon Richardson. I'm waiting. I normally give everybody the opportunity to start seeing their notifications and stuff. Those that still get them. But I think it's sad though that you have to file a lawsuit against YouTube because they have so many like people like foreigners and stuff that they hire that take money to manipulate the systems. Crackheads are able to pay them. So you have to think about when you're dealing with a damn crackhead, and all they got to do is sit behind a computer all day. Okay. And use the money that them damn fools that's going to jail with him, and with them the hacker going to jail too. Okay. Up early, you must finna do a bust or something. No, I ain't get ready to do no bust. They get mad. They be hating on me because I'm an investigator. I am one. I mean, that's all the FBI gonna tell them. Them fake reports. He got them damn fools that are professionals filing. Do they know? Let me hold on. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. We was talking about this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. I was trying to find an email that somebody sent me last night, but I probably don't need to read it. Miss T, I'm sick of those vloggers messing with you. I'm like, Cole, they need a spot in South Memphis to vlog from. They just hating because you're yeah, they mad because I'm a private investigator, and they're mad because I've worked for the police department. And they're mad because I live in Memphis. Okay, that's what they mad at. But I mean, that ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change. But you know, all these federal crimes that they doing, you know, that's gonna come out. They're gonna deal with that. Starting with trying to shank the government for funds. How about that? Anyways, you guys, let's talk about will your Gotti go down for what happened to Young Dolph? Okay. And like I said, y'all, we're trying to get, we just figured out that they have been hiring, they trying to figure out how they're doing it. They are messing with my hours when they did it before. And I was like, dog, I gotta do my lives. My hours constantly going down. So I started paying attention because y'all know I have a life. And I started seeing that my hours would be there and then all of a sudden they would be gone. So what they've been doing is somehow they figured out how to, they're hackers, to when the hours that I get from the live, somehow they've been deducted it. So they got to be dealing with somebody that works within Google, right? So so that's what they've been doing. And thank God when it happened the first time I started taking pictures. But I still think that OTV is hiring a hacker to hack my, because he's done it before. He's one of the ones that is obsessed with me now. He commits all type of criminalistic situations, doing some criminal stuff right now as we speak. Okay, on audio talk about he had Orange Mountain Quet daughter killed. Some more people have come forward talking about some more stuff that he's done. Okay, as it relates to people's lives and sending folks to people's houses. And he got the nerve to, but hey, anyways, hey, I feel sorry for them people that follow him, because it ain't gonna be good. You tamper with the FBI with all the criminalistic things you have going on, and you send them damn fools out to do it. Anyways, Will Yo Gotti, okay, somebody was telling me he finally did a live because I called him out about being CMG, and who was threatened about being CMG, and that's the shortest damn live he did accusing Yo Gotti. But you know, I've always from day one told y'all that CMG was involved. Okay. Now when he's accusing somebody else, he be on live for 5 and 6 hours. Okay. Anyways, y'all, will Yo Gotti go down for what happened to Young Dolph? Here's why I believe that he will, right? He was threatening Raven, telling her, I told y'all that man is dangerous. Now people get to see firsthand what I was talking about. I told y'all he's more sick than anything. His game is to get a lot of the people that are around him to do the dirty work, right? To get a lot of people that is around him. Now, people have a right to believe whatever it is that they want to believe about the cookie shop. I've always told you guys, I was not told that the cookie shop was involved. Hey, I think I've said that from day one, and that remains. If the Memphis police or the FBI says that the cookie shop was involved, then I would change it. But I have not heard that they were involved. And I can't understand how people blindly follow somebody that is just on here strictly for money. That's it, and that's all. He's strictly on here for money. He's strictly on here because he was put on here. Where did that man come from? And attacking all of the vloggers that talk about Young Dolph, especially all of the vloggers from Memphis. And he attacks all of the vloggers from Memphis because he's been sent to do that. He understands that the Memphis vloggers, whether they say it or not, knows exactly what happened to Young Dolph. Nobody is on here trying to solve the Young Dolph's case because the men and women in blue at the Memphis Police Department, the investigators with MPD and the FBI, are the ones that's investigating this case, and it's going to be the ones, has been the ones to get over 1 million pages. Okay, and they're going to be the ones ultimately, and that's what pisses him off. Hold on, y'all. Let me let my dog in. Come on. Before you wake up everybody in the neighborhood. Okay. It's going to ultimately, I mean, not ultimately, but they've been the ones to get us the evidence that we have. At this point, that man don't know anything other than what, a skit that somebody is giving him. He's used all of the Memphis vloggers or the Memphis people to try to get him information about Memphis to bamboozle people. And y'all, I don't care if it sounds good. If there's no proof of it, it can sound good all day. You cannot falsely accuse people and put their lives in danger just because somebody jumps up on YouTube trying to get number one, money, and number two, trying to mislead people. And we already know, just based on, look at how vicious he has been at getting hackers to mess with people's hours and stuff. Now he ain't doing that. I believe Bo Z is helping him with that. Bo Z, if you got an issue with me, you send your damn lawyer. Okay, because you was the one that jumped into my comments lying on me, and you basically let me know. Okay, when you say, I got proof that you don't work for the Memphis Police Department. I told y'all I had not worked for the Memphis Police Department in 3 years. I think I said that. Okay, I told y'all that. Bo Z, if you have an issue with me calling you, I'll say allegedly a hacker, you need to have an issue with the people that said it. OTV got up on his panel. We got the jump drive. So when we go to court, we're going to use that. There have been other vloggers that I have recorded talking about you saying it. We can use that in court. So you'll have to bring all of them and have to come forward and say why. See, you open up a can of worms when you came over here lying on me, talking about I got proof, I'll expose you. You don't know nothing about me. OTV said you was the one that hacked my computer. He said that. Okay. His words verbatim was, when Fed talk, because we got it. We was looking at all that shit. You motherfuckers hacking my shit. OTV is the one hiring these folks to hack my internet because he's sick. Fed Talk said somebody was going to her computer. It was Bo Z because he a hacker. I mean, those were his words. He on video saying that we got it from over a year ago. There have been other vloggers to say it about you. I didn't know you. You jumped into my damn comments saying that if OTV got any information about you, I screenshot it and I still got it. If OTV got any information about you, I didn't give it to him. That's what you said, Bo Z. Then I said, email me. You emailed me to let me know that he was asking for information on me and my mother. which is why I fear for my life as it relates to him. Because look at what he said he did to Orange Mound Quet daughter. He said he said that he had something to do with her death, and then said that he could have taken Raven and had Raven crying for years because he spared her mama's life and her daddy's life, but he's not going to do it again. Then he said that Sko had a casket coming. So y'all think I shouldn't be fearful of this man? And I heard some more stuff about it. People have been coming forward like 40 going north. Hey, if I was them damn people, I wouldn't even want to be around him. So then he jumps on somebody, send me a screenshot to my, yeah, the FBI on top of your head, you impersonating a police officer. I never told y'all I was a police officer. What I said was I worked for the police department for 18. Let me just go back. Okay. And tell y'all what I did for the police department, because I've said it many times. It ain't gonna change. When I first started working for the police department, I told y'all it was by mistake. I was pregnant. I started off as a transcriptionist, typing statements in the bureaus for the investigators. After I had my baby, when I came back, the investigators were saying, "You still young. Why don't you go through the academy and become a police officer?" I said, "I never thought of becoming a police officer." I've said it multiple times. So they was like, so when I went the first time I told y'all I had issues because it was a lady out at the academy that was constantly rejecting my application, even though I worked up in felony response, because she was jealous of how those male investigators up there let me have my way. Right? I was a young girl. I was very motivated. I wasn't sleeping with them, but I was a nice young girl. The lieutenants and everybody was good to me. So one day I'm gonna go through this again, okay? So one day at the time, Director Bolden, his secretary, worked down there, and they was like, "Don't talk to her," blah blah blah. And I was, I was writing up an appeal because I was like, "Dog, this lady keep rejecting me," and that was the very lady that actually helped me. She took my appeal to the director at the time, and he called me up there. And he said there was no reason for them to keep rejecting you, and put me back in the process in the class. And I went through the academy and became what you call a traffic officer. While I went to school and got my hours, MPD paid for my schooling and I got my hours. So we had to get our exercise in. We had to do everything. That was the first phase of becoming a damn police officer. So when I got back out there, I did traffic for about 6 months. And then it was like, why don't they let Tamara come up here? She already worked in the bureaus. We need somebody to work in Crime Stoppers. So while I was still what they call a PST, which was a traffic officer, I went back up to Crime Stoppers, okay, and took tips, and we did payouts and things of that nature. And I worked in the bureau again because I had already worked there. So when I got my hours and I went back through the academy, okay, 4 weeks before I became a police officer, I injured my hip trying to get over the wall doing our exercise and our practicums, and I had to leave the academy. Okay. So while I was healing, I was supposed to go back through. I ended up getting a job with the sheriff's office. Okay. The job at the sheriff's office was paying me more because I was working in the office with the police chief. And I never went back through the academy. When it was time to go back, I didn't go back through. Okay. And it was a career combined for 18 years until one of the elected officials was elected and said, "Why don't you come and be my assistant?" She was paying me 3 times what I was making at the police department. I left and went with the elected official. She got sick and left. A new administration came in, a new elected official. They bring in their own people. I was her HR manager, okay, for the government. So when that was over, they was like, "Well, you can go back to the police department," because they got this process with the government where they say you could fall back. Motherfucker, I done had the sheriff and everybody in my damn office. I could go back today if I wanted to. I interview these politicians. My dad was an elected official. That ain't gonna change. I said, I'm gonna give myself a year, okay, to work my business. My dad was alive at the time. He said, well, if you work your business, he said, I support you, but you don't have no off days. Okay. And I ain't really had no off days. I work my ass off. Okay. And it kills them because I'm an investigator. I am. I'm an investigator. So no. I mean, he got these folks filing all these fake reports. It don't change that he a damn crackhead, a scammer, and a murderer. That came out of his own mouth. And I fear for my life because he's fixated on me. That came out of his mouth. It ain't nothing I'm putting on him. His people were the ones that said that they tried to buy merch from him and they never got it. Not me. Now, Bozy, if I'm wrong on you, I'll say allegedly. But I was told that you was the one that they was using to hack me. OTV said it when he got mad at you. We got the video. I started downloading everything. Okay? It ain't nothing gonna change. See, he's nothing without them people messing up their livelihoods. Because I was already told about, how he get those women and he put them on assignments, y'all. They was telling me about that situation with Kia Moore. We don't know. I don't know Kia Moore. It was going on about some fundraiser or something like that. Trust me, if there was any type of scams going on in a fundraiser, especially raising the type of money that they raise, the FBI would have been all over it. You ain't never heard me talk about Kia Moore because I already know how it works. If there was some scamming, as it is alleged that they doing, he talking about the FBI all over me. No, nigga, they all over you. Okay? But if it was some scamming as it relates to Kia Moore, the FBI would have been all over that. Trust me, because it was a large sums of money collected, if I'm correct. But I'm told that he had given those women assignments in Clubhouse and somebody recorded it. Said, I got it. I got the recording. If you need it, I said, I sure need it. He was giving those women assignments to write to the FBI on that lady and lie on that lady. Not only that, but he had them calling her and said the lady in the recording, one of the girls said the girl was from Arkansas. She got scared out here and at that point and got out the group, and he went in on a bad. See, what he does is he get a bunch of people with low self-esteem. And then they got something to lose. So he get them, they got insurance license, go on your computer, get some information, do this, and that. You work for the light company. You can go on your computer and get this information. And then when they try to back away, it's just like the Illuminati, I guess. He exposes them. Right? So that's why they scared of him. I think he hate me so bad because he wanted to get close enough to me. Okay? To do something to me, to be able to cut me in my back like he did everybody else from Memphis. And he always put a bad taste in my mouth. So what he had to do was he had to lie on me and just flat out. He said, I ain't going to be able to get close to it, so I'm going to just have to go on flat out. I guess he was, because the person who said that one of the girl who told me that allegedly he told her to kill me. Okay. And now we see now he's capable of it. I always knew he was capable of it. He's sick. Okay. He said, we're gonna have to go on and do it. I'm gonna have to go on and just try to, I guess, take her down, or he was told to do it. But I remember her telling me, I said, why would he want you to kill me? Why would he want to take me out? She said, I think it's the people that he works for. Well, she said he and her had gotten very close. Okay, they had been communicating quite a bit, and I believe every word of it. Okay. So, hey, that's basically why those people over there do that to him. Hey, Bozy, if you weren't involved, I stand corrected, but I was told that you was. I mean, that can't be changed. And so I welcome, I got a lawyer. I welcome yours. And I would love to take this to court and bring everything out as to why, and get all of this paying out. I want everything to be laid out. It's gonna have to go to court anyways. So I went and got a lawyer for that. Okay. And so it bothers him that I have friends at the police department. You can't work somewhere for almost 20 years, okay, and still not have friends over there. I got relatives over there. And that's not going to change. It don't change. Right? And so, as I said, I would never mention anything that would ever hurt an investigation, not for no views. But I thought about my internet was acting up. And I was like, dog, it was acting up just like it's acting up now. I should have changed everything. And somebody told me when it's acting up like that, when it says no internet, they be in. Okay, they be in the internet. Okay. So I have to keep looking at my stuff. And it's crazy that you get on here and you work hard and you got a motherfucker that just crawled out the sewer along with some hackers, manipulate Google system, and somehow they're able to deduct all of your hours. Y'all, they sick. It's not just him. I believe Countdown John working with him. But I believe that it's more so OTV. It's more so OTV. Because even when the stuff happened with Countdown John and them, they kind of backed up, because maybe they had something to lose. OTV ain't got nothing to lose, and he helping everybody around him to go down. Because they're the ones that are using their resources and doing this crash dummy stuff, and he love it. He loved every bit of it. He had somebody to hack my phone, y'all. And he had them to get my mother's phone number. Me and Demon was talking one day. I called her from one of my other phones. And I said, Demon, because she was like, I was hearing that boom. She would hear that click, 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 click. So I called her from my other phone. I said, I tell you what, I'm gonna call you back on that phone and we're gonna talk about some stuff. Okay. And I said, you don't mind me recording you, do you? She said, no. So I recorded. I said, this is what we're gonna talk about. And I'm gonna call you back on the other phone that he got hacked. And he'll get high and drunk and jump up on his panel and talk about it. Player Code, haven't we had conversations on the phone? And he done jumped up, not only him, but a female blogger too. Okay, that be hating. Done jumped up on their channel and talked about the conversations. Okay. But anyways, y'all, let's go on and get into talking about Yo Gotti. Okay. Let me go ahead and take a picture of the amount of people that's on the live. Because see, when Google know they got a lawsuit coming, they'll try and deny some stuff, but they'll be in the background quietly looking at some stuff. Well, we're going to investigate it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to make sure hold on, y'all. I got to record it. Be quiet, Riley. Today's date, the chat, and how many people are in the chat. I'm keeping all this shit documented. Google gonna pay me for my pain and suffering because this nigga ain't supposed to be on here anyways. He's been banned from YouTube. And he back on here. Okay. So will Yo Gotti go down for what happened to Young Dolph? Here's why I believe, okay, that he will. Okay. I believe that he will. As I've, everybody has a difference of opinion as it relates to this situation with Yo Gotti. Okay. As I've said from the very beginning, when people in Memphis was, there was whispers about what had happened to Young Dolph, right? And when there was whispers about what had happened to Young Dolph, and there were quite a few people was like, well, I don't know if Gotti did it, but they always said that, allegedly his brother, was the one that put the hit on him and the reasons that they were saying that, some other people, was because they knew that he had always been the one to handle things as it relates to that get down for his brother, right? And then there was quite a few other people that was flat out saying, well, it would not have happened if he had not wanted it to happen. And we know quite a bit of stuff is coming out now. And I think people tend to forget, because I always like to go back to the beginning when he I always like to go back to the beginning when Straight Drop was on the run, when this stuff first happened to Young Dolph, when we saw, the assuming video, that black youngster, Mr. in here, I don't see him. When black youngster was putting out that assuming video, that was about 2 weeks after Young Dolph was unfortunately taken out. That could not have happened unless his CEO allowed it, because he was still on CMG. And then shortly after that, that's when Straight Drop, had gone on the run. And people tend to forget now how involved Yo Gotti was as it relates to that tweets and stuff that he was putting out. If my nigga go to jail, I'm gonna get him out. And so some people came into my chat and was like, well, he was talking about 42 Doug or somebody. And I was like, well, I mean, he picked a fine time to talk about 42 Doug, because I don't think that situation was happening at the same time as that. And he said, and then Straight Drop reiterates the same thing. I'm gonna turn myself in, but I'm gonna be right back out. And it was because they had given him false hope. He was constantly putting out tweets on Twitter that that seems subliminal. I always felt like, and this is just in my opinion, I always felt like it was strange that he would, when Straight Drop, right before Young Dolph was assassinated, he puts out a tweet that says, I have a question, right? And I don't know, it's weird. It kind of, hey, it seemed like to me it would corroborate with what I was told about my credible sources, because God damn it, they credible. Okay. That once they spotted him, he said, Gotti got real big fish to fry. Why he unfollowed Keon? Well, you know what? Hey, I always thought, listen, that situation as it relates to Keon, I always felt like when Keon got on his Instagram and said to somebody, that's a real interesting conversation you had with the police or something like that. I can't remember what he said verbatim, but it was something to that effect. Okay. It was something to that effect. I always felt that was weird because Keon is supposedly Keon like the vice president of CMG. Grayface, what is Keon? Is he the vice president of CMG? So I always thought that was weird that he would get on Instagram and put that out and not have a conversation with them. It made me believe that, whoever that they didn't want to confront Vato and they told Keon to put it out, just put it out on Instagram. You know how people play games. If you put it out, then I will that'll give me the balls to ask him what's going on. Okay. That'll give me the balls to ask him what's going on. I always felt like that was weird. I'm gonna tell you something, HD Bully. Somebody told me something about him as it relates to Teasy being taken out. I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody that used to be in his camp specifically reached out to me and told me something as it relates to Teasy getting taken out. Now, do I believe that Teasy was involved in what happened to Young Dolph? I believe he had some type of involvement because he was around the people. Did I want him to die like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, he the only person that I've ever wanted dead. Lord forgive me for saying it because he's so damn evil. I'm not gonna kill him not unless he become a threat to my person. But I've never seen anybody so demonic. That's just evil on so many levels. Okay? That's just evil on so many levels. I've never seen nobody that get I told you OTV kind of remind me of, and I'm not gonna spend all my time talking about him. I'm gonna say this because I know his followers in here, but I want them to hear this. He kind of reminds me of the Good Son. I know y'all seen the Good Son with Macaulay Culkin. When Macaulay Culkin told the boy, I'm going to get Mr. Highway. And Mr. Highway was a dummy, and he took the dummy and he would stand on top of the bridge over the top of a highway, and he would take the dummy and throw the dummy down on the expressway. That's what he do to his followers. And then he would smile while all the cars crashed out. That's how sadistic that man really is. And so one of his followers had told me something as it relates to Teasy. Okay. He said he got Teasy. The person said he got Teasy messed over by putting, oh Lord have mercy. I putting out some lies and some more stuff. I don't know. I can't confirm that. But this person was a close follower of his. But anything as it relates to him, I don't put anything past him because he's sadistic. He's sick. Okay. But anyways, you guys, hey, I felt like it was something going on as it relates to yeah, I felt like it was something going on as it relates to Keon and all of them. Yeah, we have to pray daily for the mentally ill, but you know what, HD Bully? It's a difference in being mentally ill and mentally sadistic and evil. That nigga is evil. It's been all types of people to log in and watch him because they're saying, hey, it ain't normal. And they go, I remember my pastor said that Negro ain't mentally ill. That Negro is low down and dirty. There is a difference. He low down and dirty. Okay. So that's the reason why I said for all of you all that really mess with me the long way to contact, and you all did, a lot of you all, if you haven't, please do. Contact the FBI. This is it right here. Give them my name, of course, and my information, and let them know what you all have seen this man do to me and what has been going on as far as this hacking and stuff. I've been doing it. A few other people have been doing it. I had conversations with somebody yesterday. Okay. Because it's not going to change. See, it's other vloggers that hide behind that because they want to put out a fake narrative. Hey, people can put out what they want to on their page. But I'm not going to join a network of people, right? See, those that work with OTV, if it's other vloggers, I got to believe that they are participating in wanting to have me killed because he's asked a person to kill me. So I got to believe that. Okay, I got to believe that those followers are participating in it, that he sends out. And so somebody was telling me his strategy is, all of this comes from the people that used to be in his camp, that he called himself trusted. His strategy is to kick folks out of his camp. And he want to see how bad they want to get back in. And normally they reach out to him and try to explain themselves to him. And according to one of his ex-followers, when they do that, he knows that they'll do anything. And so he started asking them to do stuff because they want to get back in so bad. These are grown folks. Rusty grown folks, not people in their 20s, because don't nobody in their 20s mess with him. They know they be up on game. It's older people. The person also told me he keep older people in his camp because they be wanting to be involved in something so bad he could send them out to do the ultimate. They'll do anything to include mess up their own livelihoods. They're the ones he get to write them fake police FBI reports up. Okay, then they have to read them to him, and if any word is wrong, he goes off on them like they dogs. Okay, that's what I was told. Street Politics TV says they comment to y'all think niggas just be getting hit for no reason. Now they been done some. I'm telling you, Great Face says, what the F going on over there? Where the feds at? They over there now. I welcome them being over here. Hey, because all they did was file. It's against the law. I was going to pull up that email where they was talking about the penalties for filing fake FBI reports on people. But y'all already know what he's gonna say. I didn't do it. The gang did it. I didn't do it. The gang. See, the FBI be asking when you file them FBI reports, they ask for your email for a reason, and that's all I'm gonna say. So even when you put fake names, goddamn it, they ask for them email addresses for a reason. Don't think you can give them no fake email address and you ain't gonna be tracked. Okay, because they say his strategy is to have them filing fake FBI reports in droves to get people messed over. Okay, but he can't get nobody messed over. But anyway, y'all, let's keep going. Okay. So if you all notice, when Straight Drop, okay, when Straight Drop was into it, when Straight Drop was getting ready, he was getting ready to go to court December the 1st of last year, we noticed that Yo Gotti put out another subliminal. We cannot omit that. Listen, hey, I've always said I can't understand how somebody can all of their people can be involved in what has been happening to one person, okay? And nothing happens. And he don't stop him, right? And he don't stop him. So regardless to what people say as it relates to Jook, he couldn't control Jook. Jook is a businessman. If he had had conversations with his brother and his brother was like, if listen, this right here gonna mess up our brand, this and that. Jook was a businessman. He could have had a conversation with his brother and that would have been off. But that didn't, it didn't happen because he didn't want it to stop. He want I mean, they wouldn't have been hitting at him so many times. He could have stopped it at any time. I know he could have controlled Black Youngster, but that did not happen. Okay? Cypress said he couldn't control Jook. But I do believe that he's going to go to jail. And this is why I believe it, because you have too many people that is talking. It's a difference when you sitting up talking about you ain't no snitch and you ain't this and that. And then your number is up and you're looking at and you're facing time, right? You're facing time. And, I think it's a shame. Hey, I think it's a shame, but this is why I believe that he's going to go. It was too many people involved. And it was supposed to be like that because that's how God wanted it to be. They was never supposed to take him out. They had plenty of opportunity to change their mind when they saw him that Monday. And they were supposed to get him and they could not get him. That was their opportunity, okay, to rethink that. But they didn't do it. Okay. He had Youngster under contract, not Jook. Major difference. Well, then how come he just didn't disassociate himself then? Tell his brother, we can't be associated. We brothers, but you can't be associated with my business. It never would have happened if he had not wanted it to happen. You can't tell me Jook came up with all that money by himself because I know he didn't. Well, all of it ain't, being paid always, but I mean, I say all the time as it relates to these young dudes, they need to know better. It's not good to be taking people out for money or based on emotions anyways, okay? But it's not good to do that. But you have to think about some of these OGs, they run circles around these little dudes, right? And they get to telling them that listen, if you I was told that the money just kept going up and up and up, allegedly, because Yo Gotti wanted him gone so bad. He wanted him gone so bad, the money just kept going up. Okay. And so it's easy to continuously go up, although it is, I think they did get quite a large sum of money. They just didn't get all of it. And they ain't gonna get all of it. Okay. But I always tell these little dudes, these folks will make a fool out of you when the money keep going up and up and up like that. It is because they don't plan on paying you anyways, especially when they get a bunch of little dudes off of the street. They feel like, well, I'm gonna pay you some here. I gotta give you some more here. I gotta give you some more here. I don't believe God to put no money in there. Miss Nunu for you said she don't believe he did either. I do Miss Nunu for you. I believe that he did. But hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion over here because this ain't no cult. I welcome everybody's opinion. We all respect each other over here. But I do believe that he did, Miss Nunu. Okay. Player Call, I miss your comment. He said that's what y'all fail to realize. I missed the other comment, Player Call. Miss Nunu says, I think Juke did, boo. Well, I think he did too. Well, I know he did, but his brother did too, and probably some more people. I believe Gotti is all in it. If you want to know who I believe is the 100% mastermind, me too, Miss Nuno. I ain't gonna tell no stories. Me too. Um, Mr. J says, who was messing with Dolph Body? They getting White House endorsements. They paid off connected. Who's getting White House endorsements? You talking about Yo Gotti? Um, who's Mr. J? Who's supposedly getting White House endorsements? Street Politics says Juke having more money than rappers. His CMG chain bigger than Gotti's. It don't mean he had more money than Gotti. It just means that he wanted a bigger chain. Miss Nunu says he been too quiet and Dolph gave back his first feature. Mr. J says Juke funeral letter from oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Okay, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. He better be who done it, because we can't survive another 4 years of him. Street Politics says Juke was having M's. I know this for a fact. Well, I mean, people in the street says that he was getting money, but I know y'all don't want to believe that about Yo Gotti, but that's just, I believe that it was 100% him and everybody else fell in line. As I've said from day one, it started with him, it's going to end with him. I believe it was 100% him. Okay. And everybody else got about working to make sure that it happened. Okay. That's it. That's all. He was mad at Gotti. He gave everyone a new chain, but Juke, I never make with Trump being in there. Althea says he cried for that chain to only have it 3 months. Dolph rapped about Gotti a lot, and it wasn't for nothing. Right, Young Dolph. Listen, they was doing stuff to Young Dolph behind the scene. Young Dolph just put it in the forefront, right? He's a true Leo like myself. People want to do things and hide their hands. I get on here hollering and screaming. I sound like the crazy person, right? Because it is crazy for somebody to be consistently messing with somebody. I just put it in the forefront and I do it for a reason. Right? I'm like Young Dolph. I want everything to be on record. On paper and on record. And then when I get off of here, like I do every other video, I put it on a jump drive. Okay. I upload it and I send it out to other people. I send it out to other people every video. And I tell them, download it. Whenever I do screenshots, screen videos, people send me vital information as it relates to hackers, as it relates to something that some vlogger is saying. I upload it. I put it on a jump drive, then I upload it and send it out to necessary people. Okay. That's what I do. Brenda Nash says, I know many times these people wish they would have left Dolph alone. Now they are reaping what they sowed. Dolph is not here with us, but his spirit lives on through people. Right. It did not turn out the way that they thought that it was going to turn out. It didn't. And when you do wrong, it never does. It can't turn out right. When you do wrong, wrong follows you. When you do wrong, wrong follows you. The ultimate thing, the worst thing they could have ever did, a person could ever do is just decide that I'm mad at a person, especially if they have not done anything physically to you, and I'm going to take their life. That was the worst thing that they could have ever done. That was just like evil on so many levels, right? That was evil on so many levels. Sidron Oregon says, I believe God is involved in due to the fact, why else would Black youngster be doing all this extra? In fact, he is God is due boy. Hey, Big True that. Did I saw double tap in here, didn't I? Did I see double tap in here? Y'all, my head be going a mile a minute. I thought I saw him. Michelle Johnson says, his spirit out here still spinning. Little Miss Muffet says, Althea Zimmerman probably kept asking, now who is them niggas in my office? Absolute 100, it's a dangerous thing to go out your way to do harm to others. God said that. He went inside, shot gelato and Ridgecrest, kept on flexing, play with to be, etc. Well, I mean, anybody can shoot a video anywhere, though, Mr. J. Even if it's in Ridgecrest, Gotti don't own Ridgecrest, so Gotti can't decide on where Young Dolph can go in the city of Memphis, right? He couldn't decide that, and so even if he felt disrespected, it was not okay. He said, I mean, I thought I saw you. Even if he felt disrespected, I mean, they should have, they could have been open to throwing them hands, but for somebody to sit down and decide, I'm gonna take his life. And I think if Young Dolph had not been an artist that was making traction, they never would have bothered him. They would have been laughing at him. But because he was overcoming so many obstacles that they had laid before him, y'all, because of that, that's one of the reasons why that they kept messing with him. Okay, that's one of the reasons why he was making traction. And so what Gotti failed to remember is that everybody has their time. And hey, I'm not on here trying to hate on Gotti. I truly hate that this happened, but Gotti knew better. Gotti was my era because we're closer to the same age, right? I'm not gonna get on here and say Yo Gotti can't rap, because Yo Gotti has a unique sound and people loved his music. A lot of Memphians supported him, and they to this day they still like his music, right? But what Gotti did was he brought a division in the city that helped to bring him up, because Young Dolph was in an era that came after him. And so what he did was he became frustrated because he tried to do to Young Dolph what he claims 3-6 Mafia tried to do to him. Now, Paul and I told y'all about me and Paul and them grew up in the same neighborhood, right? In Whitehaven, in Twinkletown. And so when they claim, I don't know, because I grew up around Paul and I know Paul was a jokester. He could be mean and stuff, but he was always about his business, right? Paul and Ricky, I think they call Ricky, I forget what they call him. Yeah, what was Ricky's stage now? I can't think of it, but he's no longer here. That was Paul's nephew. Lord Infamous Lord or something. Lord Infamous Lord or something other. I forget what they call Ricky. But Ricky was a nice guy, real quiet and stuff. He just kind of followed Paul lead. And but anyways, they claimed that Paul tried to blackball Gotti. And so yeah, Lord Infamous, that's what it was. And so so when people try to make excuses and say, well, Gotti was just doing to Dolph what Paul and them did to him. But even if Paul and them were black, I don't put it past Paul, because I know Paul was low down sometimes. Okay. But even if he tried to do it, Paul and them didn't try to take Yo Gotti's life or anything like that. Yo Gotti, I guess he overcame those obstacles or whatever. He overcame those obstacles, and then he went on to be successful. Well, just like Gotti has a time, Dolph was trying to do the same thing, and for whatever reasons, because he could not put Dolph up under the umbrella or the category that he wanted to put him up under, it seems to me that he kind of took that personal. And I guess he decided, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but Young Dolph had a determination, and I think that's where the frustration came in at. If you listen to Young Dolph's interviews, he was very smart, and everybody that knew Young Dolph said that. They go, he was more of a money getter, and he was very brilliant and smart, not just in the street, but he also had a lot of book sense, right? And so, you know, all the obstacles that they put in front of him, Young Dolph said he understood that he had to go underground and get money. And that was one of the smartest things that he did, because they did try to block him, which was evil on so many levels. Just because somebody, I can't stand for somebody to say, well, they did it to me. They did it to me. You're going to have to go through the same thing I went through. That pisses me off. No, you don't do things to people just because it was done to you. If you go through, so somebody else that comes behind you don't have to go through. That is the issue in our community. So there were people that went through and died to make it better for us, but all of a sudden we want for people, yeah, we want them to work hard, but we don't want to put them through the same pain, right? Just because you went through that pain, if you don't have to. And so what it was, they saw that he was making traction, and they tried to block the boy. But he had went and made his money in the street, and so he was outbidding everybody. They weren't playing Dolph like that, from what I hear on the Memphis radio stations, because Gotti was going allegedly and blocking him. That was wrong. That was wrong to do him like that. He had hard living. He came out of an impoverished area in South Memphis, just like Gotti came out of impoverished area in North Memphis. It was wrong. It was wrong when Paul and them did it to Gotti, and it was wrong when Gotti did it to Dolph. The only issue was Gotti and them took it too far. I don't know what it was that was going on in their damn brain, where they felt like we going to silence him forever and then turn around and troll the boy. It was evil. Y'all, it wasn't nothing right about it. So it ain't about taking sides. As I said before, I don't take no sides. I stand on the side of what's right. I'm a damn human being. And so I don't deal with people that sit on the fence. Like I said, people like to sit on the fence. They sit on the fence so long they have damn splendors up their ass. Okay? Instead of saying what them folks did to that boy was wrong. People that's taking money to try and steer the narrative, them folks are going to pay for that. People sell their damn soul for a damn hot dog, and you better not put no mustard on it. Okay? They be willing to take out a whole family. You put mustard on a hot dog. In our community, okay? And so Young Dolph was doing his thing. He had found another way to do it. We just got to be real about it. Everybody has an opinion of who was the better rapper. Well, we cannot negate that was a money-making machine, and he was building something new for the Black community. These Black boys are the ones that are the talented rappers. And so I always say this, straight dropping them shot themselves in the foot for a quick fix. And look at where they are now, because you have to reap what you sow, and the rest of them going to go too. Regardless to what Dolph said or didn't say, Dolph had a right to be frustrated. Dolph was overpaying. They had went and blackballed him, telling rappers not to do songs with him. So, hey, him and Daddy-O came up with money. People talk about Daddy-O was involved. Hell, Daddy-O talk about how they talk about how Daddy-O said he almost went broke, and he was a damn money maker for real. But that boy asked him to back him and said he would give him an investment back. And Daddy-O believed in that young boy and backed him, and almost went broke because these Negroes was blocking him, and they was just having to pay cash money to try to override whatever God in them had put into the atmosphere. Hey, T.I. and them, God, Dolph said I went in that black backpack, whatever they asked me for, to do a feature because he knew he needed them on his album to get traction. I gave it to him. They was triple charging him. And look at him now. Defunct. Ain't nobody listening to him. Old, rotten. Don't get me started talking about them because I get mad. Okay? So that's what they did to that young man. So I know he had to feel a certain way. He know they triple charging him because he been blackballed, but they ain't want to turn their cash money down. And that is what was frustrating Gotti. He going to them, they blackballing him, but Dolph overriding whatever with his money. Okay? You heard Mr. N say that Devin Steele. I don't even, is Devin Steele still alive here? Or did he croak out or something? Okay, Lord, forgive me for saying that. I get mad when folks do folks wrong. And he said that allegedly God and them was getting paid not to play Dolph stuff. They was blackballing him because they feared, okay, his greatness. The same thing they doing on here to me. But I was great before I got on here, and I ain't going nowhere, and I'm still be great on here. Okay. So I think it's a darn shame, when they say, well, Dolph was talking too much. Dolph can say whatever he want to say. He had a mouth, and wasn't none of them his masters. And he was putting it out in the atmosphere. They doing they dirt like snakes do behind the scenes, slithering. All they can to try to stop him, right? And he was putting it out in the front. He wasn't doing it behind the scenes. He was putting it all out. And God was allowing him to put it out for a reason. He was leaving trails so that the FBI, who is actually, and the Memphis police investigators, who is actually getting him justice, because no vlogger can do it, can have something to reference. Every step that happens as it relates to us day by day is ordered, and it's always for a reason. So I have to say that as a one-time supporter of Yo Gotti, I'm very disappointed in how far they took that, because I ain't had no issues with Yo Gotti. What I said was, it's our fault. It's our fault as the consumer. Okay? It's our fault as the consumer. I love you too, Newski TV. It's our fault as the consumer, because when they were shooting up Young Dolph, we should have said, listen, if anything happens to him, then we can't support you, Yo Gotti. We can't support your artists. And we gotta put the responsibility at Yo Gotti's feet, because each and every time that something happened to Young Dolph, as it relates to his van being popped up, as it relates to him being popped up and going in the hospital, they almost killed him. It came from out of CMG camp, y'all. I'm not just trying to dog CMG. I'm speaking facts. So it's our fault, because we should have held their feet to the fire and said, we can't support you. It's going too far. When somebody started getting hit at, they wasn't hitting at him to play with him. They was trying to kill him. They was trying to kill him before they killed him. It's coming out of your camp, Yo Gotti, so we got to hold you responsible. We can't support your label. And when them execs stopped putting money behind him because nobody was supporting him, that would have made them get some act right. He'd have had some meetings. It was going too far, but instead we kept supporting Yo Gotti because Dolph wasn't being killed. Well, he ain't dead. We're going to still support him. Okay, well, we're going to wait to see how Dolph going to come back. And he came back hard, but we was wrong for that. We should have held him and his artists responsible. And so when it's all said and done, the laws of the earth is you got to reap what you sow. Not only are these people talking, the laws of the universe says you got to reap what you sow. Whatever you put into the atmosphere, that's what's going to come back to you. My grandmother used to always say, be careful, gal, of the words you spit out, because there might be a strong wind to blow it back into your face. Okay? So they put that out there, and now it's blown back into their faces. And was it worth it? It didn't make me feel good to see Big Juke being killed. I hate that. I ran across a video where Big Juke's daughter, just like little Trey Trey, had his eyes was so sad. And shout out to Mia J, because I think she's doing a good job with making sure that those kids are in a healthy environment. I love it so much. Staying strong for her children, making sure that they are children, okay? Because so many kids' childhoods are taken away from them. She can't go and ball up in a knot and not live anymore. She's got to take care of 2 children. She got to be a strong Black woman and pick up the pieces. Okay. She's being forced to pick up the pieces and be a mother and a father. Not because Young Dolph chose to leave. Because people say, well, you know, it's plenty of single mothers. Okay. No, not where they single mothers because the man chose to leave. Young Dolph was taken from his children by force, and it didn't have to happen. Okay. All right. He says, I couldn't believe it, but it didn't make me feel good. I was looking, I happened to run across a video where Yo Gotti's mother, who I was telling somebody, I said, it sure bothers me because when you look at that lady's face, you could tell that she is grief stricken. And I hate that. I would hate that for any mother. I'm a mother. I said, but I looked at Big Juke's daughter. She looks like she's about 6 or 7 or 8 years old. And she was, they had some video going across the internet. She was at school or something, and they was at her program, and I could look at the little girl's eyes and tell that there's a lot of sorrow in her eyes, because I saw the same thing with Young Dolph's son. So all this hating Young Dolph and wanting him dead, was it worth it? Y'all, was it worth it? It wasn't even worth it. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And so I know somebody gonna say, yeah, but Yo Gotti had it going on. Yeah, Yo Gotti had got a big fan base, and he's a talented rapper. He's talented. I'm not a damn hater. I speak the truth. Okay, Moneybag is talented. He's one of them. He's real talented. Okay. But was it worth it? And so when people say, well, you know, Gotti didn't have to be jealous of Young Dolph. He didn't have to be, but for some reason he felt threatened by him. He felt threatened by him. I don't know if it had anything to do with him putting out stuff about his baby mama. You know, normally what sane people do is what they'll do is they'll go and they'll make another song to counter that and make money about it. So when people say, why couldn't him and Dolph have a sit down? It was beyond that. The moment they shot that van up, it was really over with when they popped his body up. I ain't having to sit down with nobody that tries to take me out. We can't never sit down and talk ever, because that was violation to the 3rd degree. And so when people are making all these excuses and stuff, talking about, well, you know, folks shouldn't snitch. No, that's the way that it's supposed to be. I mean, who died and made some of these folks God? That's how it's supposed to be. The people that tell, they're supposed to tell, because that never should have happened. When it's wrong, it can never be right. They can't make wrong right. It's not going to be able to happen. And so I think about, you know, like the other little dudes that, you know, you hear about, like JoJo Splat and all of them, you know, those dudes over there at CMG, to include Moneybag and all of them, they had a great opportunity to try and make JoJo Splat in them. They could have geared him in some type of direction. At the time, JoJo Splat was 18, 19 years old. He was a baby for real. Right? And they helped him to crash out. You got 30, 40-year-old men helping babies to crash out. Because see, JoJo Splat's brain, that's the reason why he was shaking when he was on that show. When you 18, 19 years old, your brain is not really through developing. You're going to change again at 25. straight drop. They helped him to crash out. He was still basically a child. He was a young adult trying to do real grown men things. He still had a child mind. Okay. And so I don't appreciate how they did that. They was wrong. They had the opportunity to be some CEOs and some bosses for real by helping to change lives, not based on them crashing out, taking that man out. So when people say, well, you know, folks is talking, they doing what they supposed to do. Some of them still ain't 25, so their brain ain't through. Okay. All they know is they don't want to be, ain't through development. All they know is they ain't wanting to be in jail for no 60 years, and I don't blame them. But they should have thought about that before they killed Young Dolph. They're going to have to do some time. You don't hear me say a whole lot about Cornelius, although he was involved, because Cornelius at the time was 33 years old. He knew better. Okay? He knew better. He ain't considered no damn child. So, you know, James Thomas says the establishment has brainwashed Black people into thinking snitching is wrong. They assist in solving crimes, but we walk around like it's a badge of honor to prevent. Right. I can't understand how people, you know, I saw a man that looked like he was in his early 40s on another vlogger's channel one day. They was talking about FBG Duck's mother. And they was talking about, man, she wrong. She a snitch. She a snitch. She's sitting up talking about the dudes that killed her son. She a snitch. She telling. I knew then that something was going on in our community. And he had a lot of conviction. He gonna sit up there with his snagger-tooth ass and talk about a mother? Talking about dudes that took her son out. She's supposed to have more loyalty to the dudes that took out her son. Right? She's supposed to have more loyalty to them and not say nothing about them taking her son out, as hurt as that lady is. Because when you don't tell, I don't care why you ain't doing it. That's so I don't wish jail on nobody. Okay, well then you have more loyalty to the people that did it. That's the reason why crime's so high. So then when you don't tell on them, they come back and they gonna get you because they figure at some point you might tell it. So I mean, that's the reason why a lot of the other ones end up dead. If they had told, they had their asses in jail for life and they couldn't be out. I'm gonna tell you something. I worked for the police department for almost 20 years. Y'all know what these niggas fear. Some of them want to go to jail, but y'all know what they fear. They don't really fear death like that. They fear going to jail and really being around a bunch of gorillas and monsters that don't care. That's going to make them some little girls. They can't take it. They can't take it. That's what they fear. So that's why they try to make these little dudes feel guilty and shame them into not telling on them. That's the reason why if they feel like they're going to jail, they'll start doing whatever they can to crash out because they ain't got the guts to take their own life. They want somebody else to take them out. And they do it under the guise of, I'm a gangster. I don't care. I'm a this, I'm a that. Now you trying to crash out because you know your number is going to be up soon and you don't want to go sit in that cell because you scared of them other dudes and you ain't going to have no weapon because there ain't nothing but without them weapons. And so I think it's a darn shame that Mama Duck has lost 5 kids in all. Yeah, she lost 5 kids. Okay. And so, you know, with FBG Duck, I had always said, I watched that case quietly because I had always said that Young Dolph's case kind of mirrors that case. Right. His case mirrors that case, especially with some of the names of the rappers that you've heard that has some type of affiliation and involvement with it being a RICO, as it ended up being a RICO and all of that. I always said that. And FBG Duck was killed because he was gonna blow up. FBG Duck had a sound where he was very versatile and he would have been able to cross over and get on anybody's track, whether it was country or whatever. He was very talented, and somebody didn't want him to be one of the biggest rappers to come out of Chicago, okay? And whoever put that bag on his head for real, they're gonna pay for it. Maybe that's why you see some of these folks having damn seizures and shit, tongue and stuff hanging all out their mouth, drooling and overdosing, okay? Because you sure got to reap what you sow. Okay. Yeah, it's very sad. So nobody really, um, um, wants to. Hey, I hate that this happened. Look at the negativity that it brought to Memphis. The negativity that it brought to Memphis when all of the talent, all of this talent is in Memphis. I be looking at the people from out of New Orleans. I be looking at these this vlog from out of New Orleans what these twins are on. And I like their vlog so much. And I hear them say all the time, and those are some street dudes for real. I hear them say all the time. They're turning their lives around though. I like what they're doing. As far as I think they're gonna do a nonprofit and all of that. Hey, we ain't talking bad about no rappers from New Orleans because New Orleans is our damn city. As a matter of fact, we ain't talking about nobody bad from out of Louisiana, and they don't do it. And I'm starting to see with the help of the other young man, I can't think of his name. Yep, Think Twice Twice podcast, those twins, Kareem and them. I'm starting to see with the help of yeah, he said think twice. With the help of the other guy, I can't think of his name, Birdman's brother. Hey, even with Birdman's brother is pretty smart. Even with the controversy that he brings to his podcast, right? He ain't no fool. He helped to put. I see him helping to put other people. I heard him say one day because I kind of pop in on him sometimes, every now and again. He said, "I'm the flunky. I bring people to the I bring people to you to people's channels. Hey, go ahead and use me." That's a person that ain't got no covetousness spirit here. He understand that it's gonna help them, and while it's helping them, it's helping him even more. Okay. And so what they do is they talk about their city because New Orleans culture is very unique, just like Memphis culture. So they start talking about them little dudes, and them twins are smart as whips. They real smart. Okay. And so highly intelligent. And hey, they just helping. People are starting to show an interest in New Orleans, and that's gonna help some of the new dudes. Because I always had loyalty to Memphis. When people ask me who are your favorite rappers, I go, as quiet as it's kept. I just got a thing for the New Orleans bounce music because I like the bounce in their music. But if I gotta go on record of talking about who is my favorite, I'm gonna always say a Memphis rapper because I have to be loyal to my city. It's gonna always be somebody from Memphis, but I slick love that New Orleans bounce music. Okay. And so you think about Memphis, our unique culture, our unique sound. I could tell. I was in New Orleans one time. I went to see some of my friends, and I went to a stopped at a Walgreens, and the guy was talking. He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "From Memphis." He said, "I knew it." I said, "I thought you had that Memphis accent." He was working as a cashier at the Walgreens. Okay. We talked, and I'm originally from Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Wow. So Gotti and them had a opportunity to really, and I'm not saying that Young Dolph was perfect because none of us are perfect. I'm just saying Young Dolph had the money to bust back on them Negroes, and he didn't do it. So it goes to show he was not an evil person. And you know why I think he didn't bust back? Because Young Dolph had enough money where he could have easily went underground, went in, on an island and lived and stayed out the way after he did it. But Young Dolph understood that like those little dudes like Paper Route Woo, Snoop Bands, and all of them, Paper Route New Skin, all of them, they were gonna still be over there in Castelia. And so what was gonna happen? that was going to give them the opportunity to start going through there and sliding on those little dudes. And he didn't want no damn bloodbath, because it would have been those little dudes that was affected. Okay. And so, like I said, it's very disappointing to me that Yo Gotti and his crew and his label, those that were involved, did not think enough of the city that helped to put them on. Okay. They didn't think enough of the city that helped to put them on to not do that, because Young Dolph was a big figure. He was a philanthropist. He did a lot. You know, and people say, I heard straight player coach said, well, it's a write-off. Well, I mean, they could write off, they could, I'm a business owner, so I already know you could write off anything. You ain't got to give to do no write-offs. You can go give to yourself and do some write-offs, right? You can do write-offs any kind of way. But he chose to give back to the city that helped to support him, because he was truly boots on the ground. He said, y'all should come down here for the jazz festival. You know what? I had planned to go to New Orleans this month. And I didn't, because my friends down there said it's still cold. So I'll probably go for May. I'll probably go in May. Miss Ireland says, I'm in Louisiana, baby, but in Texas. Yep. So yeah, I believe that he's gonna go to jail, because or he's gonna be indicted. He might get off. He might get off. But when they finish with him, he ain't gonna have a damn dime left, because that's the strategy of the government. You go through all these long trials and you fight, but you're destitute after you finish. So they was never on no feelings. It kicks off the day before my birthday. When is your birthday? There was never on no feelings at Kevin. So, you know, I do believe it. Okay, I do. Oh my God, that's the April 27th. Okay, I was going to say March 27th was the day my dad died. It'll be a year, March 27th. I can't believe I have not seen my dad in almost 365 days. I was telling somebody that, I was like, dog, it's been 300 and let's see, 62 days. It's been 362 days, 1 hour and 50 minutes. That's how long it's been since I seen my dad. He passed away on March the 27th at 8 o'clock. It's been 362 days, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Wow. That's a long time to go without talking to someone that you talk to at least 3 times a day. Wow. And we were business partners. Every business I ever started, my dad gave me the startup money. Anyways, we ain't gonna talk about that. Because I y'all know how I get. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button for me. Thank you, big man. I can relate. My grandmother passed April 14th. I miss her badly. I miss my dad so much. Oh, my dad was my protector. He was my confidant. He was like he had a solution for every problem I ever had. I tell you, I guess I leaned on him too much, because when I would be trying to think about something, I would go, how am I gonna figure this? Oh, okay, let me call my dad. He gonna figure it out for me. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Player code. Is player code still up in here? I was gonna see if player code wanted to come up. Cypress, you up in here? Because I want to hear what they got to say. Okay, I'm Cypress still up in here? Hold on, y'all. Is True up in here? Would he like to come up too? And Cypress ain't in here no more. Neo says, I believe that your dad gave you all of the wisdom, knowledge, and skills that you would ever need. Yeah, he did. He gave me a lot of knowledge. Big True that says, Miss Real Talk, when you get a chance, check my new story out and condolences. I will. Hey, Big L Dog. Oh, Cypress said he had to go. Okay. Big True, would you like to come up? Yeah, he's from Memphis too. Big L Dog says, salute, Miss T and gang. Salute, Big L Dog. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Y'all keep running the likes up. Thank you, Tiptoe Through the Turnips. So, how many of you all think that Gotti is going to be indicted? Well, let me ask you this first. How many of you all think that Gotti was involved and participated in what happened? A big man says, do you think the cookie people still innocent? You know what? I have not had anybody to tell me that the cookie people were involved at all. I haven't, not anybody credible. I have not. Nobody ever told me that the cookie shop was involved. I was told that he was followed. They was following him that Monday. And they say he had too many people around him. So, I mean, hey, listen, this is what I was initially told. And I promise to God, I don't really even say a lot about that. I was told that they followed him. They already knew he was going to be in the area. So they was already out. And they saw him coming down airways and they followed him. When they saw him, they said, there you go, right there. I don't know if somebody called them, because you have to think about now. They say that some of the people that that is affiliated with CMG, grew up in Castelia. So maybe they didn't know, it was like, you see Dolph over there, let me know if you see him in the area. How did they know he was in town? Because they knew he was in town because he always was in town. They was giving out turkeys. I believe he was involved, but I don't think he would be indicted. Greyface says Gotti was indeed involved. Michelle Johnson says they probably get him on the RICO case. Ramona says Big True that. Oh, Big True that says he's on his way into church. Henry says, I think it's bigger than Gotti. I'm talking Jay-Z. Henry says he thinks that Jay-Z was involved. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I don't know if he was involved or not. Armand Guthrie says, speaking of cookie shop, what you think of Dr. Kilmore helping with the GoFundMe, then backing out and saying they weren't good people to be involved with? I never knew that Dr. Kilmore said that they weren't good people to be involved with. Now, I never heard that. If it came out of the mouth of a vlogger, especially depending on what vlog is, I don't believe it. Ramona Rice says, amen, true that. That's right, true that. Definitely will next time for sure. Enjoy the chat. Y'all be safe. Okay, true that. Enjoy church. Whodunit says, I believe he's involved, and if he doesn't get indicted, I think someone is going to take Gotti out. I hope don't nobody take him out. I really do. I hope don't nobody take him out. It's been too many people to. I'm not a bloodthirsty person. I'm not. I didn't like I don't like all of the killings that have been going on. I don't. I believe in people getting justice. You do something, you got to get some justice. It's got to be some justice. You got to go on to jail. Thanks. It's hard to believe he got popped like that from two guys run and shooting. What? Yes, indeed. Out of her mouth, live sitting in a car. I never heard that. Somebody told me a vlogger said it. I never heard that. Hey, Cecilia. It's certain vloggers that whatever they say is if they say it, I don't believe it. If they say it. Certain vloggers, if they say it, I automatically, if you tell me it came from them, I'm not gonna consider it or believe it. It's a lie. Okay. Greyface says he thinks that Gotti was involved. How many of you all think that Moneybag was involved? Renee says black people just need to stop unaliving each other and stop talking down about each other and to each other. I agree. Natural Born Queen says I saw the video when she said it. Okay. Miss Nunu says that a lot of these vloggers be stealing your content and acting like they got it from its source. I had to unfollow. They sure do. And then try to and then try to make me look like the villain. Ain't that something? Miss Ireland says, I think Gotti will be indicted, but I think he has enough money to wiggle out of it. I'm gonna look for it and send it to you if possible. She had okay. Little Miss Muffin says, I think the whole CMG was involved. They knew of nothing else. She said a lot of out-of-towners like Cali. And then start messing with my channel so that I can't be in the algorithm and people can't see where they got it from. But that's God gonna get them for that. You sure have to read what you saw. Russell Douglas says Gotti ain't going to jail. He too soft. He gonna die before he do. Street Politics says no face, no case. Cecilia says all the time they were stealing Tamara's content to make it look like they found the information out first. Sure was. Althea says human nature, we want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but maturity lets you see people's true intentions and heart. I side eye a few. Cecilia says Yo Gotti will not be getting out of anything. They already built a case against Yo Gotti. He has to face the music along with P. Diddy. Why couldn't Gotti and Young Dolph just both, like, after they popped at him, that was over with any type of sitting down? I don't know nobody. I don't know anybody that would have did it. It ain't no coming back from when you try and hit at somebody. It just ain't no coming back from it, right? I'm gonna say it's going to be 15 or 20 people going to jail. Who done it says I believe uh, Moneybag was involved. I believe that 1.5 was to hit money from Gotti and Head. They saying P. Diddy in jail. I don't know. Nisha says I don't know why they hated him like that so much. Right. It's not, it's something wrong with people that hate you so much that they want to see you no longer here. That it's something that's a mental illness. They don't think about the consequences. Surely you already know that things could not have worked out because you have to read what you sow. People was hoping straight drop and Cornelius' trial would be the end, all be all, would be the end all be all. That ain't how it worked, people. No, it's not how it works. No, that's not how it works. It never has. You're right, Tamara. God got it marked down in this book. Diddy ain't never going to jail, unfortunately. It was a lot of jealousy around Young Dolph. They didn't like the way he was moving and like the way he was a businessman. They didn't like the way he was an independent artist. Right? They did him dirty. You don't get mad. Hey, it's just like, and let me just say this. It's just like if somebody sat here and said, let's just say, for instance, somebody that I don't like and I've been into it with, and some people are sitting here saying, you know what, we're gonna get that Negro. We're gonna get him, we're gonna get that nigga. And they sitting plotting in front of me and they saying, yeah, we doing it for you. And I sit here and I not say anything. That means that I'm agreeing with it. Because the first thing I'm gonna say is, no, I can't let you mess your life up like that. No, we gonna get them another way. If they're violating you, we're gonna get them with the law. In their case, it was just rap songs where they was, throwing shots at each other. Okay, well, okay, he made 100 shots. I'm getting ready to try and make something harder. That's how you counter that. You don't take somebody's life. You absolutely, Jan, I agree. I agree 100%. He was telling us he was involved when he sent that tweet out. Whoever did it, the police ain't caught him. Now that's sad. Michelle Johnson says yes. At Cecilia Kelly, they was very jealous of Dolph. So I believe that he will. I believe that he will. Rather he'll spend the rest of his, well, I'll say indicted. Rather he'll spend the rest of his life in a cell. It all depends on how good his defense team is. Um, And we see how they defense teams roll. Okay, we see how they roll. So it's gonna be interesting. It is, but I hate that they did that to Young Dolph. It was just no reason for it. And here's the thing, y'all. This is what's so sad because I'm thinking back. He says after the first shooting, Gotti could have had a meeting to shut it down. He could have been called the digs back. That's how you know he encouraged it. Absolutely. When he was on Breakfast Club, and when he was on Breakfast Club, they asked him, when he was on Breakfast Club, they asked him about when they shot that van up, and after Young Dolph was shot up, and they asked him about Black Youngster, and the first thing he said was, "That's my little brother. That's my little brother." And who was that player code said that he was throwing out subliminals then when he heard him. He said that Yo Gotti said, I wish Young Dolph luck and I hope he be safe. Well, they were saying that's the code of, we gonna get you. So he wanted him gone. But I wondered, was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't think he's gonna feel like it wasn't worth it until he loses all of his money. I think that's at the point he'll say it wasn't worth it. Because Young Dolph's family might, depending on, how this everything go as far as all these trials, he probably gonna be looking at like a wrongful death lawsuit or something. Tiptoe says, I find it unforgivable that Dolph signed some of these guys, yet they snaked him for CMG, even though CMG didn't sign them. What guys you talking about? Tiptoe through the turnips. But here's the thing too, y'all, that when after that happened to Young Dolph, their intentions were to get Key Glock. He was next on the list. They wanted to take that young man out. And I really do believe, because that's why I say the vlogs can be a blessing and a curse. But I think even with the bad publicity and the cap and the lies, it has helped to keep his name out there. He said straight dropping Moochie Grape. Now me personally, I don't believe that Moochie Grape had anything to do with what happened to Young Dolph. I don't believe that he did. Now I know they were showing when he was mad. Artists be getting mad all the time at the CEOs, but they didn't show the time. Was it 2 years before Young Dolph was taken out? No, Straight Drop was never signed to Pre. Yeah, karma is always in the air. And with karma, you get served what you deserve. So, like I said, so when you start calling people out, folks like to say that you hating on them. That's not true. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It never should have happened. I defer to you, Miss T, because you are there. Respect. Okay, thanks. Cecilia says, Moochie Grape didn't have anything to do with Young Dolph's murder. No, Moochie didn't have. They would have been, if Moochie Grape had something to do with it. Shoot. Let me tell y'all. So them folks would have told on them before they told on their own mans. The folks that they be with every day, they would have been telling on. They would have done told on the cookie shop, and they would have done told on Young Dolph's artists. Those would have been the first ones that they fed to the police. You know how they say feed them to the gang? They would have fed them to the folks before they fed the people that they really was messing with. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Let me turn my heater on. It's cold as hell. And I'm sitting up in a damn camisole and it's cold. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. I had to make me some coffee. I didn't get in until 7 o'clock this morning, so I ain't even had no coffee yet. I walked in my house at 7 a.m. Cecilia says, then I was saying, was done in the dark with some come to the light. I stand corrected from a distance. Some of pre-camp guys seem to be moving funny, especially friendly with Trula folks. I don't know of any pre-guys that are friendly with Trula folks, but let me just say this, um, I would say this, when you start seeing like some of these pictures with, like Key Glock being on there with CEO TZ and all of that, those are real old pictures. When he was hanging out with Straight Drop and all of them. Remember now, Dolph was affiliated at some point with Trula Mafia, right? Dolph was affiliated with them, and it is alleged, okay, that some stuff went on there. Where the word is that Young Dolph had gotten to a point where he could not trust some of them, and so he disassociated himself. Somebody even came into my chat and said that that's how his location was getting dropped. And so when people started pulling up these pictures of Key Glock in them, those pictures was when everybody was cool. I remember when yeah. Now I do know that they had a lot of respect for, I believe it was J Money. I think he was taken out first, unfortunately. Rest in peace to him. Because I went and I happened to find his Instagram page. And it must have been over a year ago when he first was taken out. And you had a lot of Young Dolph artists and stuff on his page saying, I was thinking about you, man. I can't believe, that you're gone. That's why I'm posting. So they had a lot of respect for him. I think that's the one that they was closest to. But I don't know. Hey, when you have relationships with people, and he might have started having some issues. Maybe he and Young Dolph started having some minor issues because I think he was trying to further his rap career. And I don't even know if that was before all of this stuff started happening, but you saw him a lot with like Black Youngster and all of them. I don't know the time bracket of that. I don't know if that was around the time stuff was happening to Young Dolph, but it's been people to come into the chat to talk about that. And if I would say this, regardless to whether the young man, what Young Dolph felt, I don't know. I don't even like talking. Speaking of, I hate that happened to him and Young Dolph. But he seemed like that particular one. He seemed like he had a really cool personality, right? The J Money one. He seemed more mature and like he had a really cool personality because he had a lot of. They still got love. Yeah, they still got a lot of love because who was that? Even CEO Teasy. I mean CEO Jizzle or Kenny Money or somebody was paying homage to J Money or something. They were saying something about, I still got respect for J Money. So hey, I was told that as far as the younger one, that was the taller one. I don't think him and Young Dolph and them were close like that. Okay, so J Money was killed in 2016. Okay. So all of that stuff with them trying to take Dolph out didn't start happening until 2017. So it would be J Money. They was not talking about then. But so all of this stuff when he was you see him on pictures with Black Youngster and all of that, J Money, that was, hey, I don't guess they was having any issues during that time because Dolph didn't know Black Youngster. Black Youngster was brought in by way of Yo Gotti and them. Greyface says D Money was Bread Gang. Okay, so D Money was. I thought they said that D Money. Take a moment to exhale says after 2016, those ties weren't the same. Hey, Montica. Shout out to Monica. Said those ties were not the same. I thought they said when J Money died, then D Money was over True Mafia. That's not true. Real 72, real 72. Good morning, beautiful Miss T to you. 100. I wish Dolph would have moved like the president against killing, but stop taking the ones that actually I agree. What's up, real 72? I haven't seen you in here in a while. And you're absolutely right. Young Dolph was. I think he was comfortable because he was in this area. And hey, now Mr. Ian did say. Mr. Ian said that that he had talked to Dolph 6 months before it happened, and said to Young Dolph. Now this is according to Mr. Ian, and he said, and Daddy O knew, and said to Young Dolph that they was plotting to try and take him out. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. You know what, Monica? A lot of people say the same thing, and that's what I was gonna say. That Young Dolph had a lot of money to retaliate back. He could have lined all of them up, and he didn't do it. It takes a special kind of evil person to plot to take a person out that is not even a threat to your person. That's sick. That's a special kind of twisted individual. Greyface says BEO Kenny got music with J Money. Little Miss Muffin says that's when R went their separate ways. They hung around Dolph. Okay. So they went their separate ways, and D Money hung more around what, Brett Gang or something? Um oh wow. I tell you. Well, we do know now when after this stuff happened, right before it happened to Dolph and right after it happened, Straight Drop was hanging around. He was all on stage with Brick Gang artists. So I don't know. It just kind of leads me to believe nobody had told me this. My instincts tell me that because it is alleged now. I don't know if it's true. It is alleged by some people's in North Memphis that that Straight Drop had a management deal with Big Jook, right? And the way that they said, the way that they worked, they signed a management deal with Big Jook, and then later on they got signed to affiliates like of CMG or CMG. I believe if the feds and the Memphis police are investigators who has been the one to solve this case, if they had not been so tight on their butts, I do believe that Straight Drop would have been signed to a Bread Gang. I just do. Hey, I know money. Look, money bag people be in here, child. They be getting mad at me, but I don't care. That's who he was hanging out with, and I believe that's who he was gonna be signed to. Um, I did not F with a lot of the music interview with Dolph. A lot knew what's going on. Y'all hit the like button for me. Thank you, Irvin Mack. Get mad for what the truth is the truth, a lie is a lie. That's true. Child, they was coming in my comments about a week ago. And yep, that's what I believe, Gray Face. I do. I believe that's what it was gonna be. But because it was not right, things started really, people talk about the Memphis Police Department, but I think the Memphis Police Department, you have to think about, because see, people can't see past what they want. Investigations are perpetual, can be perpetual, and working and going to school. Will be in Memphis this summer to visit. Oh, okay. I think investigations, and I think investigations can be perpetual, especially look at how long it was with Thug's case, Young Thug. It took them to get him. But I think that they did a good job of, getting to the root of a lot of this. They got the shooters almost immediately. They got them almost immediately. I would say, if, I could see if they didn't have nobody, then it would be, I would say, well, people got a valid reason to believe that maybe some stuff is being covered up, but they got the people almost immediately. 2 of them. They got more than that, hell. Ramona Rice says black youngster got to know his going to ride. Mm-hmm. It's amazing to me how black youngsters' energy has changed, though. It's amazing to me how his energy has changed. Dirty South says you sitting up there faking, all about the cookie shop. You done video after video of them. You and anybody you rocking with ain't got to worry about me anymore. What video did I do at the cookie shop, Dirty South? Tell me what video did I do about the cookie shop, the Dirty South. I don't know what channel you've been on, but if you got some video of me accusing the cookie shop, please send it to me. That's gonna be that's gonna be good in what we got going on. Please send me that video, because that means that they have taken they put out some fake videos of me. They put out some fake material. Please send it to me. Please send it to me. Okay, Dirty South, send it to me. Dirty South RB. Let me tell you something right now. I'm getting ready to tell y'all something right now. Dirty South RB. Dirty South RB. Dirty South RB, send it to me. And Monica, y'all block him. Send me the video, realtalkwithtamara@gmail.com. Please send it to me. I'll pay you. I will pay you to send it to me. I'll give you $100 if you send it to me. I promise to God I'll cash app it to you. I'll give you $250. Send me that video. Okay. So y'all, that's the type of stuff. And the very people that be putting that garbage out, I remember some. I do remember of a couple vloggers who there is a female vlogger on here that went into a clubhouse and recorded a vlogger. Okay. A vlogger that has been going so hard at the cookie shop. When he first started, he was saying them people in the cookie shop ain't had nothing to do with that, but he mentioned somebody else. He said them folks ain't had nothing to do with that. But then when he got mad at a certain vlogger, all of a sudden he jumped on that bandwagon. And there's actually audio of him saying that. So don't tell me that. Because I've always said I have not been told. I ain't never did. Have y'all ever, who been here with me from the beginning? Have I ever did video after video about the cookie shop? Or accusing the cookie shop? I know y'all want to get me to start cussing and acting a fool on the Sunday, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. I'm happy this morning. Yeah, the obsession with me is insane. They act like I'm Beyonce or some damn body. God dog. Right. I've never really even spoken on the cookie shop, not even at all. Okay, Ramona says she day one. Ramona, have I ever did video after video talking about the cookie shop was involved? That's right. So that's why I'll give you $250. I give you $250 if you send me those videos. I promise to God. Tell me where you got them from and email them to me. If you got Dropbox, just screenshot that little bit of me supposedly saying it, but you're gonna need to. Hey, even I will give you $250. Monica says she'll match it, so we'll give you $500. That's $500, Dirty South. We'll give you $5. That's $500. Send it to me. Athea says 2 years and 4 months. I ain't seen it. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm one of them ones. You know, when folks was walking around here trying to be accusatory, talking about well, you affiliated with this one and that one. I'm so honest. If I was affiliated with somebody, just like I told you, me and Black Youngster cousin, best friends, we've been best friends since I was 5. I mean, I'm honest. If I had known any of them, I would say, you know what, I know him. I'm gonna tell you the type of chick that I am. I would say, you know what, I know him. So you know what, I ain't got to try to get no views for no YouTube check. I know him. I grew up around him. I ain't got no comment. Y'all can have y'all. I ain't got no comment on that. And then I told y'all the reason why I didn't go in on him so bad was because I was best friends with his cousin. But I always told y'all, I told y'all I told y'all when I told y'all. Okay. But I was like, I don't really say a whole lot about him because she be in my bushes sometimes. That's my best friend in real life. We grew up together in South Memphis. Okay. Shan says she'll add 50 more. That's $550, Dirty South. If you can send me that video, that's $550 you got. Brenda says, and Miss Tamara, I always wonder why after Dolph's demise, Yo Gotti all of a sudden started hanging out with Jay-Z and going to the White House to meet the president. Why not done this before Dolph's demise? I agree. I agree. And I've always said this too. It seems like, it just looks like to me that after Young Dolph was, taken out, and now I'm not naive. I just, I don't get into a lot of conspiracy situations that be put out, but I will say this. It hey, it's obvious that it seemed like after Young Dolph was killed, he really started to go up, right? He started to get into rooms that he had not been in before. I do understand how it is in the industry. And although I believe that they were a part of it, I believe that the industry know what happened, and they didn't care about that happening to Young Dolph, because Young Dolph was what he was teaching these young dudes. They were not going to any longer be slaves to the music industry. And with the music industry, people are culture vultures as it relates to the Black community. And everybody gets rich off of the disadvantages and taking advantage of a lot of the Black community. Because as I say, it's these Black boys that's got the talent. It's disappointing to me that the Yo Gottis and stuff didn't jump on board with Young Dolph as it relates to this independence, knowing what the record industry had done to them. Get over here, girl, because you do any day. I don't want you to be going nowhere in my back rooms, and I walk back there and you done had some babies. That scares me. Okay. And so y'all know my puppy get ready to have 5 babies, 5 full-blooded Yorkies. Okay. I'm keeping 2. I already got 1 sold, and I'm gonna sell the other 2. Somebody tried to buy 1 yesterday. I said, I told her how much. Well, I know somebody can give you $800. She'll breed her. I said she ain't gonna give me no damn $800, and she'll breed her, and she gonna go sell them for 25. I wish I would. Stuff like that be pissing me off. Okay. But Young Dolph, I got a Yorkie, and woo, I'm trying to potty train. They hard-headed. They real hard-headed. But I'm surprised that Yo Gotti didn't get with Young Dolph on trying to now everybody's talking about their independent, to be truly independent, to help these young men, because like I said, you have these record execs, and we already know who own the music industry, right? They take advantage of these Black boys, right? Why is it that they feel like they're supposed to get all of the money? They get them strung out on drugs. They become alcoholics. They get them into all types of alternative lifestyles to blackmail them, and then they throw them away after they pimp their talent and dog them out, and they just get into the industry to make money, right? The thing that I loved about Young Dolph is he was teaching what so many Black boys don't realize at this point. That's why I say it all the time, is that fame and wealth is not affiliated. It's supposed to be, as it relates to the industry, the entertainment industry, but it's not as it relates to Black people, especially not young African American boys, where they're making billions of dollars off of their talent, and they can't give them nothing. So I love what Young Dolph, I loved his movement and what he was pushing. And that's why I say straight dropping them shot him in the foot. And so now the industry didn't care about what Yo Gotti and them was doing to Young Dolph, because he was going to be an issue to them as it relates to them taking advantage and financially raping the Black folks in the industry. And what I can't understand is how you going to be African American and you get with the industry to push slavery and in the Black community as it relates to financially doing them the way that they do these young dudes. It ain't nothing right about it. Okay, some people ought to have some type of pride, okay, about what goes on in their community. Hell, they couldn't make all this money if they had a lot more Young Dolphs. And they go, well, look here, it ain't saying that the music industry ain't to make some money, but what they want to do is make all of the money. They feel like we put you out there and make you famous. You give us generational wealth. We gave you the fame. That's the reason why I like it when people say, keep the fame. I want the money. That's a real dangerous Black person right there. Now you can keep the fame. Hey, I want the money. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening in our community. They want the bling that's borrowed. They want the fame. And then later on they go, damn, where the money at? By this time they done sign all these contracts. You a broke famous person. What kind of sense did that make? You famous and broke. Parnell Clayton says, and violence because they get more money. The music artists who came before them was no sellouts. They made music. Dolph was going to be a billionaire like Jay-Z. That was the big problem. He said he was going to be a billionaire, and I believe that he was going to be a billionaire. That's right. That's a sad combination. I remember when I was working for the police department, when I was working at Crime Stoppers, my supervisor name was Major Wayne Williams. And Major Williams used to always say, Major Williams had us so spoiled up in there. He used to always say, it's a damn shame to be broke and arrogant. I hollered. Brenda Nash says, all of a sudden, Yo Gotti was placed on the billionaire list. Seems like Yo Gotti had to have Dolph eliminated in order for him to shine. I'm gonna tell you something that I had read. They and this was a while ago when they was having the Kardashians and stuff on that billionaire magazine and stuff. They said those people paid to be on those magazines because it take their stock up. It ain't about what you are, it's about the perception, and they understand that. You know, I hear politicians say all the time, and it's so sad. That's why I know a lot of these politicians in the Black community ain't worth a damn. When I was interviewing them, they come through my office. I would be sitting listening to them talk to my dad, and they would always say, it ain't got to be true, it just need to sound good. And that's what's going on as it relates to this Young Dolph's case. People don't necessarily want the truth. The truth is boring because I've always been flat and straight to the point. That's it. I don't have time to be making up nothing because I got a life. And that's the reasons why I think our community continues to lack and stay behind, because we don't care about getting the truth. We just want it to sound good. And that's what they understand in the Black community. Even as it relates to some of these preachers that be hooping, they doing all that sound like a damn hog or something. The people in the church don't know nothing that pastor just said. All they know is he hooping and it sound good. And they screaming and hollering. Well, what was the message? I don't know. I know he was hooping though. And so that's why I say our community got to get better. You know, I look at people side eye people that don't have issues with what they did to Young Dolph, because Young Dolph represents so many other Black men that changed their lives or try to change their life, and then somebody take them out because they're scared they're going to surpass them. That's right, Javon. Because it's showing some blood evidence. I know that. Pernell Clayton says, these dudes are stupid. It's enough money to fall for all of us to have $1 billion with no problem, and you sell out to get it cut out. You become a target, and a lot of hoods do not like music artists. That's true. Hold on, you guys. Hold on, y'all. They had it bad in the big DMV, some music artists. If Gotti wasn't so big-headed, literally, and arrogant, he could have learned how to be an honest person. And then too, let's you're right. Let's go back because I forget about that. I was intending to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Black Barbie. about being an honest person. And so if he wasn't involved, y'all, why did he take so much effort? And what was the reason for him doing that? Who was it, that who run it challenge? Was it a who run it challenge or something? Y'all, what was the name of that challenge that he did? Was it who run it? Um, where he supposedly gave out a deal. Um, it wasn't who run it. It was something else. Who remembers the name of that challenge? Does anyone remember the name? The dollar for dollar challenge. Whatever. Why they? What was the reason? And I'm gonna tell you, my spirit told me when they was doing that challenge. I said, I bet they already got who was gonna win, and that's a way of funneling some money. Whatever happened to the young man that won, and who was he? Who was the young man connected to? I'd be interested in knowing that. Whatever happened to the young man? Is he signed to CMG? Is he doing music? And who is he affiliated with? Pernell Clayton. Gotti told on himself from the beginning. He dropped the album, had 22 songs. So was he ever? What was his name, you guys? I can't think of the young man's name. Was it Zero? Was his name Zero or something? Yeah, 10%. That was his name, 10%. So whatever happened to 10%? Is he still rapping? Who is 10% affiliated with? Who was 10% affiliated with? Because they say he was already supposedly affiliated with them or something. Okay, 10% is affiliated with Straight Drop. Okay, so okay. And that happened in January of 2022. Okay, so I'm sure the young man won some money or something. He said it was because Dolph disrespects somebody. When player coach say that? I didn't see that. I sent him the link. He can come up. I think the challenge was a way for him to funnel money. Also, at one point, I saw Gotti get bagged 1 million in cash. I think that was some of the money. Also, that was too odd. Greyface says 10% was already signed to CMG before the challenge. Is he still CMG? Because you don't never hear nobody talk about him. And he said 10% won. How long had he been signed to CMG? Mm. It's on player code short. He said that's what the street is saying. Okay, Zero is Texas. Okay. Okay, he's saying that's what the street is saying. That somebody took Dolph out because he was disrespectful. Because he did not handle his own business, make him like He a mob boss. Laugh out loud. Cut it out. The mob do not hate. They get money. The mob, no, they cannot do that shit because they be taken out, right? What happened to Dolph was emotional. Parnell says unnecessary heat bring police to the feds. Yes, that's what Player Co said. Mm. Well, me and Player Co have a difference of opinion on quite a bit of stuff. Um, yeah, I tell you. Y'all hit the like button for me. Yes, that was Player Co said. That's unnecessary. He bring police and the feds. Hmm. Mm. Well, who did they think he disrespected? Gotti. Because all roads lead back to him. A great face, that was some kind of scam or something with that beat because he already knew who he was going to let. So how much money? So did he give 10% any money? Was any money exchanged or anything? Dolph didn't know no lies. Now I think if they had left Young Dolph alone, Young Dolph would not have even been putting music and stuff talking about them, but they was doing things to him behind the scenes. And they was having an artist. I mean, I would be mad at anybody that shot at me, shot my van up, and shot me. I would have been throwing shots at them forever and a day. Cause that's how I am. You can't violate me and do the ultimate and think that I'm gonna be okay with you. Why y'all think I'd be mad as hell at these folks on YouTube? Because they violated me and I ain't do nothing to these folks and think they got a right to do it. Little Miss Muffin, it got exposed right when they made the announcement. I can't wait until Dolph trial starts. I bet a lot of us are going to be scratching our heads and shaking our heads. I believe people's names gonna come up that we never thought were. Me too. Althea says, I said, hey, Nisi to you. New to you, I saw you come in. They be okay. They would never F with nobody. I tell you. Yeah, it's a shame that I have to be consistently recording and snapping shots for proof of stuff. Hold on, let me turn my camera back on. Time 10:54 a.m. 3/24 2024. The name of live. Black Money says, I don't think Dolph should have been in the camo vet. Yeah, I hate that he was in the camo vet too. Um Listen, like I said, I was told that they saw him coming down airways. They had already been out. They knew he was in town. They knew they was going to do a video, and they knew he was going to do the turkey drive, right? So they was just looking for opportunity. And I was told that when they saw him coming down airways, they said, "There you go, right there," and they turned around and they made a call and said that they had their eyes on him and they happened to see him turn into the cookie shop. That's not gonna change. I know it does not coincide with what everybody else want to put out. I don't know how they would know. Anyways, but hey, it sounds about right to me. Um Greyface says, then when the internet exposed what was going on, he gave everybody that participated in the challenge clearance to use the beat for free. He could have applied pressure. Yeah, he sure did. That's to try to shut people up. Parnell says, man, how you going to start unnecessary trouble and run behind police? You a scary ass dude. Do not start unnecessary beef. You cannot handle what comes with it. It's Dolph. I tell you. It's Dolph. Irvin McDoff had a billboard put up on Airways that said, F your 22 million. That's why I believe Jay-Z okayed this stuff. Like I said, me personally, I don't have any proof of that, but I don't think they cared after it happened because if Young Dolph would have had his way, he would have started a movement to liberate these black young men. And that's why I say, black men, you got to stop killing our leaders because Young Dolph was considered a leader. He thought differently. He was not a part of that system. He was not a part of that system. And with them having the talent, there has to be some type of financial liberation with what they're doing to our community in the entertainment businesses. Our black women in the business are the most beautiful. People go to the movies to look at that black popping bronze skin, our beautiful shapes, our glow, our exoticness. We bring in a lot of revenues for other communities, and they don't want us to get a dime. So I love the movement that he had going on, and it's hurtful to me when they get people like Puffy to be the gatekeeper as it relates to financially molesting um, black artists and stuff. These black men are these young black men and these older ones. Black men are they're sexy. Um, they're beautiful melanin skin. Their muscles, their swag, the way they walk, there is no other. The rhythm that they walk to, the rhythm that comes out of their mouth as far as rap, everything is great about our people. And that's why we are a $1 billion business. And it's a darn shame when people feel like they're supposed to make money off of us and then leave us broke, busted, and disgusted, which is why I get mad at anybody when they think that they're going to bully me off of talking about the Young Dolph's case. I don't care what race they are, but especially when it is of another race, because they feel like we're supposed to benefit. It's going to be our narrative. We came up with the skits. We're going to make money, and not you, you black wench. That's how I feel, Bozy, when you do stuff like that. When you tell me, well, then you said you was a you this and that, you was lying on me. So what I felt like at that time was that you was being true to your nature of your ancestors, and I didn't like that. Okay. I got all of these other niggas in line because all they want to do is make some money and go get drunk or snort some cocaine. But I can't control her. And so I'm going to be true to my nature and bully her and lie on her and try and destroy her and use the cuckabug kids to help me do it. Okay. And so that's why I say our lawyers have to talk, because I'm not going to let nobody defame my character. I've already been violated and y'all feel like that I shouldn't be mad about being violated? Okay. It don't work like that. If anybody gonna talk about Young Dolph's case, it's gonna be me. Number one, it's my community, and I grew up in the community that Young Dolph was killed in, and I know what happened because it's out in the streets of Memphis, regardless to whether Memphians say it or not. They know what happened, and me or no other vlogger could ever, especially on the outside of Memphis, could ever solve the Young Dolph case, not unless they was involved, not unless they know the people that did this, and there's been quite a few of them to be put on here to try and derail the truth and change the narrative, scare off witnesses, jury tamper. Okay. And so, as I said, we all collectively get on here to talk about it because everybody has a difference of opinion. Hey, I'm not on here to try to bully anybody. But as I said the other night, when Chief Davis went live, and it's funny, when I got off of live, somebody called me the other night when I was talking about Great Faces on here. It wasn't Great Face that called me, but when I got off of live, somebody called me and said, why didn't you just go on and say that restaurant had got popped up? It was closed down for a week. Well, I knew that the plaza was closed down. Hold on. I knew that the plaza was closed down. I used to live out in that area. So I always went to that GNC to get my aloe vera juice. And I used to go in there to get my women's multiple vitamins. And, but now I take Geritol because they better, okay? And then I used to always go into the Ross's to get me some sundresses and my girls. And me and my girls used to love to go to that Fazoli's. So there's a hardware store there. I don't know why I can't think of it. It's not Lowe's. It's not Ace Hardware Store. It's Home Depot, Ross's, GNC, and then that restaurant is up there in the front. And there's something else in there too. So they closed down all of those stores and tell the people to go home. They didn't do that. You talking about closing down a business and taping off the restaurant? I mean, folks are sitting up with all of it. The police was involved, so they went over to the private. They went over there for a reason. You don't put yellow tape around a restaurant for no reason. You don't send people home in other businesses that's in that plaza for no reason. You don't do that. They don't have the authority to do it unless there is a reason. And so that's why the city officials was calling for the curfew to be enforced immediately that night because of what was going on. And so a person called me and said, I said, well, I had heard that it had got popped up. They said, well, I'm telling you, why didn't you just go on and say it? It was closed down a month. They went right over there, I'm told, and popped it up. They said, well, why? I wonder why Chief Davis didn't see it. I worked for the police department for almost 20 years. Hey, tell the FBI that ain't gonna change. They know. And guess what? They always did it. When they did not want to send pandemonium and do anything that could cause a riot, they try and keep it quiet. They don't put it on the news. So she was very careful about the words that she used. Y'all don't go outside if you don't have to. City leaders getting on there and saying, we're calling for the police department to strictly enforce a curfew tonight. Y'all think they was doing that for no reason? They go and put yellow tape around the restaurant. Why? You don't put yellow tape around nothing but a crime scene. And you send all the people that's in the same plaza that the restaurant is in home. All the other businesses closed down early. Okay? They quietly do that. So, anyways, child, like I said, I hate all of this stuff happen. I do. I wish it never happened. It was no need for it, like when they started popping at him before it gone too far, but they should have stopped. Okay, they should have stopped. But they just was not satisfied until they eliminated that boy. And it ain't nothing right about it. It ain't nothing right about it. And so it don't give me no pleasure to get on here and talk about Yo Gotti. You want to take him down. I ain't got the authority to take Yo Gotti down. I don't have the authority to do it. The only person that could take Yo Gotti down is himself with his actions. And then the police and the feds will go do it based on his actions. Right? So, like I said, hey, I believe that he will be indicted. I do. And it's based on all of them folks talking. Now, Young Dolph's artists are hurt. And that's because they knew what had happened in the very beginning. They knew. They probably didn't know all the details, but I'm sure they know all the details now. And they still understand that Young Dolph is no longer here because of nothing. The boy was killed basically because of nothing. So when people say, well, that's how it is in the rap industry, that ain't how it is in the rap industry. It ain't supposed to be. You got a bunch of niggas that have got into the industry and tainted the industry that could make a lot of people wealthy. If they knew the business, they did the business right, and they handled themselves with professionalism. But instead, what they've done is they brought the streets to the industry, and they strategically did it for insurance money. Let's be real about it. Because it's a lot of dudes out there that grew up in the suburbs that can rap. Hell, they tell these rappers, if you ain't out there killing folks, they ain't gonna buy your music. You got to be living what you're doing. This is what they put into the atmosphere to trick these young black men, so that they can be killing each other, so that they can get the insurance money and stuff. The record labels, big record companies. You can go get somebody that live in the hood that ain't out there spinning, and he can rap and write music and make beats and make him rich. Because ain't nobody got no business being in the industry if you ain't helping them to get their mind right. That means they ain't ready to make no money. I bet you if you start letting them know you can't get into this and mess up what I got going on unless you get your mind right. Hey, you can't take away the experiences that they've had in the street, but you're going to have to change your mindset, young brother. Now we making some legal money, and we going to get this money. You got to get your mind right. If somebody run up on you and they're a threat to you, yeah, you can go ahead and pop them. You gotta protect yourself, but you can't be out there just popping folks because you want to be able to put it on a song. You sound like a damn fool. And then have the nerve to be mad when the folks come knocking at your door. That's right, and they invested in the prison industry. So either way it goes, they're making millions of dollars off of the mishaps in the black community. Right? So that's why I say you have to be careful about the judges you elect, because the judges, work with you get a crooked judge, they work with the jail system. And so they don't want anybody who ain't got no family that don't love them. Hell, that's why when you see these folks out here, they taking folks out and they ain't got nothing. They let them back out on the street. They ain't got nobody that care about them to buy commissary, to buy phone, to buy, food and stuff like that. They want somebody, they want to over sentence somebody with misdemeanors and stuff who got family members that love them. That's how they flood money into the jail system. So if they can get a rapper who they give some money to, they might give him a loan, advancement money. He get out there and he takes somebody out. Well, that record company gonna get the insurance money, and that rapper is gonna go to jail. And more than likely, that music company got some money, got some investments in the jail system. So they ain't gonna do nothing but get the money right back. He gonna be buying commissary. He gonna be buying. I mean, they put all of that back into the jail system. That's ultimately that the record labels got some type of interest in. So tricking black people is a $1 billion industry and being a damn culture vulture. And all black people know how to do is get on here and defame each other, try to take each other out, and they be working hard for their 1 cent of view. Okay? That 1 penny of view. It's a darn shame. But rest in peace to Young Dolph, y'all. Rest in peace to him. I do want his family to get justice. I don't care who was involved. We all have a difference of opinion. The only thing that I've ever said is you cannot viciously go after people if you don't know, if you ain't heard the police say it. If you hear me throwing shots at somebody, you better know I heard somebody credible say it. Say their name, say something about them. And that's the reason why I say it's a darn shame before God what people do, and they ain't got to do it. If you're making money, make your money. You solicit a bunch of dudes that are already impoverished to ruin their lives even more with the promise of making them rich or giving them a deal by dangling wealth in their faces, knowing that it ain't gonna work out. Because if Straight Drop, I'm gonna tell you something, if Straight Drop and them were not in jail, he would be unalived. Y'all know damn well that they would not have allowed Straight Drop, knowing that he did that to Dolph. Even if the police had not gotten him, he wouldn't be here on this earth. So jail was the best thing for him. And he's gonna have to pay for that. Okay? He's gonna have to pay for that. Ramona says, that's why I'm sticking with you, Tamara. I knew you then heard something. Brenda says, wow, Tamara, your dad passed on my birthday. I'm sorry, but rest in peace. Thank you. You're right, Miss T. I just suspect that Dolph was snake from the inside, but I shouldn't say names because I do not know that fact. Right. You know, I think it's extremely harsh to try and pound into people. I can't do it. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. When folks say, well, you know, Raven, you know, changed her story a lot of times. Well, she probably had to, right? I'm sure once they started talking to the investigators and stuff, it was a lot of stuff that she may have said in the beginning that she probably should not have said. So that's why I didn't give a lot of credence to him when folks was pounding her. Well, how come you won't show the tape? All people wanted to do was see that tape. So probably so they could sell it. The very people that was going to her, I heard a vlogger say, if you show me that tape, Reverend, you show me that tape, I won't talk about you another day. Well, I mean, if you felt like they was guilty, why you need to see the video? You ain't gonna talk about them another day if she gives you the video. So that right there, I listen to what people say, and I know when they full of shit. The video shouldn't not have made a difference. So all folks wanted to do was try to bully somebody into giving them that video so that they could sell it, get views for it, and because they was bloodthirsty. So I just don't fall in line with what people think I should be doing. You know, y'all know I ain't easy to control. Okay, I'm not. I ain't easy to control. I push back against stuff, especially when people think that they're going to violate me. And so if it was really, Greyface says, Raven got to know when to fold them. What you said, she said the other day on Tap Channel had me like, hold up. Shan says, they thought they was going to get away. Pernell says all the real in the music business is watching. They do not F with these types neither. And they from the streets. Okay. And so, like I said, so when people were saying, well, why, why her story changed? Well, it probably had to. First of all, I said this from day one. You know, if they was going to, let's just say, went to trial based on what Raven said, nothing Raven says would hold up. You know why? Because she wasn't even out there. Everything that she said was secondhand. Cornell says, "I've got a towel when you're done." Everything that Raven said was secondhand information. She wasn't even up in there. She wasn't even there. So what the people in the store, if they saw anything, I don't even know if they saw nothing. But I do know they got the video of them folks jumping out their car because it was on the news and they scrubbed it. That's on my daddy's grave. Hell, my mama even mentioned that the other day. They jumped out of their car and they was running up to that cookie shop. And I'm trying to understand because when you look at running together side by side and then they scrubbed it. So one thing for sure, it's all on tape. Hell, when you talking about a murder, it don't even make sense to say that they killed him and then went and laid him in the cookie shop. Is y'all a bunch of damn fools? If they had taken him out somewhere else, he would have been missing. They wouldn't have took no time to go and lay him at a cookie shop and prop him up and put his arm out the window and do this, and that. They'd have killed him and they would have made sure they put him somewhere where he couldn't have been found and he would have been a missing rapper. So I'm not going to, and I know that from all of the years of working at the police department and being an investigator now myself, because I'm a motherfucking investigator. Okay. When people want their cold cases reignited, they gonna call me and my team. Okay. Ain't nothing gonna change. Everything I speak is the truth. I'm not changing nothing because it's the truth. All right. Can y'all hear me? Some people say it sound like I'm going in and out. They might be trying to hack me. Pernell says, I respect all the real dope boys. Laugh out loud. No, you do not. They saying you told on before in Memphis. I respect all the real dope boys. Laugh out loud. No, you do not. They saying you told on before in Memphis. I told on some dope boys. They say I told on some. I ain't never in my life. I ain't never even. I ain't never did that. Oh, what God has said in Detroit. Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say, now what vlogger done told that lie? Okay, he says, I'm clear on his TV. Neil says, heck, if I ever deal with a janky case, I'm calling Miss T for real. what families do. Just like who do y'all think got Snoop? What was his name? Not Snoop. What was that guy name that was on Gotti's label? The tall, nice looking guy, the tall, light skinned guy. I want to call him Nipsey Hussle, but that's not his name. Remember, he was killed in Texas. Y'all, what was his name? He was on Gotti's them label at one point, and then he wasn't on there no more. Um, God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. He looked like a lot like Rich Lord. Oh my God, I cannot think of. Y'all, what's his name? Snooty Wow. Snooty Wow. Who do y'all think Snooty Wow's case had gone cold? Y'all know who solved Snooty Wow's case? His family hired some private investigators. And they got out there and reignited the case and got the evidence. And the police department had to work with them. The evidence that they got, that's how the police department was able to get his case reignited. And they did go and arrest the guy, didn't they? Because the Houston Police Department was not trying to do anything. Yeah, they went and arrested the guy. His family hired private investigators. That's who solved his case. Houston Police Department wasn't trying to do it. Okay. Whew, child. Pernell says Dolph said this why he could not F with Gotti because he threw all his artists under the bus to sign him. Ramona says HPD is bought and paid, Tamara. I know that for I believe that. I believe that because why they take him out and who you know what Snooty Wild's case was very suspicious. I think that girl set him up. His sister and his sons and them told exactly what happened. Like um those private investigators solved that case. And they said that when the private investigators got the evidence and finished their investigation, Houston PD didn't even want to really take the evidence. They didn't even want to go arrest the people. Private investigators can't arrest nobody. Okay. They say the Williams that killed Lotta Cash Desto and Snooty Wiles are brothers, allegedly. I tell you. I wonder what's going to happen with that Lotta Cash Desto situation. Has there been a trial for Lotta Cash Desto? I know God is not welcome in Detroit. He did it with one of his artists. The little dude just got out. 42 Doug. True Aquarius says, not Nipsey, Miss T. You know, you too young to be forgetting it. I know. I be forgetting stuff so much because I be having so much going on. Nope, nothing has been released since. Wow. You know, I always found it really weird when they said that a lot of cash desto, um what they say, she stopped at a light and somebody pulled up to her, tried to rob her. I always thought that was weird. How did they know to pull up? How did they know what the jewelry she had on, or what she had in her car and all of that? That was weird. She was, I felt like she was always targeted. It was not I don't think it was a random situation. You can't pull up next to somebody's car. I'm sure a lot of cash desto, whatever car she was in, it was blacked out. You didn't. How did he know what she had to try and rob her? I always felt like she was targeted. He said no, but she received a beautiful headstone. Yep, I felt like whoever it was had targeted her. Christian Isaiah Williams and Ivory Duke Williams. Oh, so they're saying that the person that took out Snooty and the person that took out a lot of cash desto is connected. Oh wow. Yeah, Snooty was set up. His sister said it too, that he was set up. His sister kind of got deeper into what was really going on. Um, his sister got deeper into it, and his son did too. His son said his dad was starting his own record label and all of that. He had some stuff going on, and I could tell the way his son talked. He wanted to say he felt like, it's hearsay that they are brothers. I know one is from Louisiana. Don't know where the other from. That's right. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. Yes, it is. Anytime you got men wanting to take women out, they'll do anything. And now you got some men that's so sadistic. I was listening to somebody yesterday said now some of these men that are so sadistic get some. They'll say now, oh, well, I ain't gonna get into women's stuff. I'll just get another woman to do it. Hold on. Hello. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Y'all, the Juki fruit on her way over here. Lord have mercy. I thought I was gonna have a quiet day, but I haven't seen her since she started going to daycare. Pernell says I keep telling that mob move around to handle business, and Irvin says Memphis is so related. It's hard to tell how and why stuff happens. That's true. Pernell says, yeah, Lil Pump killed a queen in the big DMV for nothing. Streets and law looking for him. Got his picture already. Yeah, it's sad. You know, you got the old dudes doing it too. I mean, they're not real gangsters because I grew up around real gangsters. They ain't even they didn't dabble in women's stuff, and they didn't send other women out to do stuff like that. They didn't get their women to go. You go and you do this and you do that, and I'm gonna stay out of it. Well, you're ultimately the one that's behind it. Or you're the mastermind, but they just didn't do stuff like that. Real gangsters didn't let their women get caught up in nothing as it relates to the streets. Mm-hmm. Hold on, you guys. I gotta take a picture. Where's my thing at? I be constantly having to take pictures of shit. Um, Dolph said he was going to be a billionaire and he was going to make his artists billionaires. He was going to teach them one by one. Yeah. And I believe that he was. I believe that he was, you guys. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get back on again tonight, though. I am. I'm gonna get back on again tonight. Since they want to mess with me, I'm gonna give them hell, right? So I'm gonna get on again tonight, and we're gonna stay on for 3 hours again tonight. Okay. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much, right? I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. And let me just say this: when I mention people bothering me, there is no malice in my heart. Okay. The only thing I've ever asked is for people. There's no hate or malice in my heart. I've only asked for people um, to leave me alone. Right. Everything said in this video was allegedly. Okay. Everything in this video was allegedly. Okay. I did not mean to hurt anybody's feelings. Hey, Roro, I did not mean to hurt anybody's feelings. There's no hate as it relates to this video at all. Okay. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I need to say this before I get off of here. Let me go to Double Tap channel. He got the disclaimer up. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Um, Everything said in this video is allegedly, meaning used to convey that something is claimed to be the case or have taken place, although there is no proof on some of it. Okay, just on some. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, education, and etc. Okay? And etc. So, child, these people be playing so many games. Y'all make sure y'all eat y'all Sunday dinner, and then we're going to come back on again tonight, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk with you later.